Hello and welcome to the Tyler the Creator Iceberg. I've been planning to do this for a while. I finally got to it, so I hope you guys enjoy this video because this is gonna be one of my biggest videos ever. Right, so like I said, we're doing Tyler the Creator Iceberg, and we'll start off with Igor. So Igor was an album that came out in 2019, I believe, early November. I could be wrong. No, with Tyler being a multifaceted person in fashion, music, videography. Eventually he had to step into clothing brands, and I think honestly his first couple years being known, he was very into like, Odd Future became like a clothing, not a clothing brand, but it became basically a big brand, and he's always been into that. Um, so truth be told, I know this is gonna cut off in a little bit. I gotta add some video over here, but truth be told, a lot of his clothing brands actually been pretty good. I personally have never gotten a clothes item from Tyler's brands, but I do like some of the Golf LaFleur shirts and sweaters and stuff like that. Um, Tyler did rock a lot of Supreme back in the day, and he mentioned it in a lot of his songs early in his early in his discography. He did mention Supreme quite a bit. He's even I think during the Cherry Bomb era, one of his videos, he had a Supreme hoodie when he was like taking a picture, and I think I'm gonna put that up here. But yeah, basically his clothing brand also he has collabed with a lot of deals. Um this is like definitely lost media per se, but he uh he has two songs that were supposed to be for Nike that I can low-key play right here, but I guess he never finished the collab, so they're lost, but I got you with that. Okay, so for the Cherry Bomb collabs, we're basically just gonna be I'm just gonna be talking about how Callie Uchis and Tyler started collabing around the end of the Wolf era. Um because Toronto, well, See You Again, if you don't know, it was a demo called Toronto that if you can clearly hear in the song, it kind of sounds like Slater, like a Vox from Slater, and I think Beamer was used in See You Again. But honestly, See You Again was a demo called Toronto back in 2013. And 2013 has to be the official year that Callie and Tyler met. They worked on a couple of songs. I think Toronto and maybe another. Oh my goodness, what will just drop? But um I think another song they worked on. They at least worked on two songs. I'm not sure about the second song from Wolf, but it is known that they did work on some songs before the end of Wolf that just weren't released yet. And I'll put like a little infographic to tell you the songs they worked on Wolf. But in fact, they got along pretty well. Tyler actually, I would say, was kind of a mentor to um Callie, and they created a friendship that's still going on to this day. And during the Cherry Bomb era, they collabed on a few songs together. Reggae, which is, I'll put a little infographic, but reggae is called Not Impossible. Version 1 is called Not Impossible. Second version, I think, is called Reggae. They also worked on In My Bed, which Tyler produced. Tyler produced the song, but Callie's song on the song, obviously. Um, and they continuously worked on demos from this era. Some ended up being on Cherry Bomb, some ended up being on Callie's debut album, um, Por Vida, but also some of them did get cut. And after this little era, I guess you would say, took place late Wolf, early Cherry Bomb. Unfortunately, we don't have all the demos from Toronto. We have snippets of Not Impossible. It just fully leaked actually. So yeah, those were the Cherry Bomb. You know what? And I'm actually gonna put this. I'm gonna put this here now.
And I'm only on 3%. That chart.
Now to coincide with not coincide with Cherry Bomb, but it was kind of like the album before Cherry Bomb. It's very inspired by Cherry Bomb. But the Dead Stamps was an album, as I've talked about on the channel before. Dead Stamps was an album that was made during the Wolf era as like a sequel. I know I look at more of it like a sequel to Wolf, because the Dead Sams explores like this indie rock band that Tyler created with his egos and Wolf, and I love the album very much. Like this is one of my favorite Tyler projects, maybe my favorite Tyler project, but um, it did get scrapped for unknown reasons. A lot of the reasons um that I've researched and that I've actually done my ethical preparation for, a lot of it factors in that Cherry Bomb was basically already in the works while the Dead Sims was almost finished, and I guess Tyler was just kind of not over the Wolf era, but I guess he just I think he finished it, and truth be told, the Wolf era really actually actually started from, like, late 2009 all the way till 2013. So I think he was just over the whole Wolf, not over it, I think he was just done with the Wolf. The theme, like, the theme, I think he was over the concept of it because he went from Wolf 2010, to Wolf version 2, then he kinda finished Wolf version 2 and then scrapped it for version 3, and version 3 is kinda the Wolf we have now, but even then, he still scrapped a lot of songs from Wolf V3 originally. So the Wolf we kinda have now is, like, V4, Wolf V4, and the Dead Sams would kinda take songs from Wolf V2 and Wolf V3 and make an album out of that. So that's why the Dead Sam's project was canceled. Unfortunately, I think I like the project a lot, so I'm sad that it got canceled, but you can listen to it on YouTube and stuff like that. Um, yeah, that is my main takeaway from the Cherry Bomb area. Um, we have a lot to go through. I don't want this video to be too long though, so I will kind of just put um some of his scrapped projects and stuff like that. Um, like how I've been doing the little breaks, like the little note cards. I will do that, and then I will put I will put all the unreleased albums. Again, Tyler had a MySpace back in the day, so I'll kind of show you a picture from his MySpace era. Okay, continuing where we left off, I'm gonna summarize basically the rest of my iceberg because I know you guys do not want to be here for 50 minutes because I could be explaining for 50 minutes every song, every unreleased song, everything that happened from like 2007 to 2026. And I know you guys don't want to see that. So I'm gonna summarize basically the rest of my iceberg. Things to know. The Red Lights EP is definitely obscure. I forgot the Blair Bitch project. Okay, those two projects are really obscure. Now, as of recently, we have found some tracks off of the Blair Bitch project. But the Red Lights EP is very like up in the air. A lot of people say it doesn't exist. Some people say it exists, but there's only one song for it. Um, because the Red Lights EP was a collab between this artist Salem and Tyler, and apparently they recorded like a lot of songs in like a short span, but they just never finished the songs. So it's kind of up in the air. Same goes along with Thrash Polo. Uh Apparently another alias Tyler used. Um Tyler used a lot of aliases during his MySpace era, which I mean, every kid was doing that back in the day. But since MySpace deleted a lot of music, a lot of people have been recovering over the years, and a lot of people still don't have all of the information. Um, you're probably asking, "Well, where is Stereotype, Eargasm?" All the tracks. Yeah. So, "We Dreams in 3D" is widely believed to be Tyler's first project. Um, we don't really have any other older projects from Tyler because if 2004, 2005 is right. Tyler was born in 91, so he would be 14, 13, 14, middle school. So, yeah, definitely, we are not sure if he actually did make any other projects, and plus, if he did, those would be very hard to find because 2003, like, technology has proved so much from then that it would be almost kind of impossible to find that. But We Dreams in 3D is his first official project that we know he worked on, which was which was never really intended for release, but it was worked on from '04 to '05. Some of what we Dream in 3D became the basis for another unreleased Tyler project called At Your Own Risk, which is one of my favorite unreleased projects. But some other songs also became bases for new songs on Stereotype. Now, what is known to the public is that Stereotype was actually the first album Tyler was gonna release, and I guessing he had a release date set, and he met with his parents, and they were like, "Oh, like, your kid Tyler makes music," and that basically he kinda scrapped the project and started reworking on it. Same with Stereotype, Eargasm, a lot of those projects fall under, like, partially released, partially lost media. Wool 2010 is by far probably the most known lost media from Tyler because he said before that he was basically finished with the album, almost finished completing it. Then his files got corrupted. I don't know how. I don't know if he would have ever tried to. I'm pretty sure he would have tried to recover files, but I don't think he was able to recover files. So he ended up working on new songs. Now, how people are finding all these old files and not these old files, but people how they're finding these and you know putting them out there, I don't know. I'm not really that computer smart, but it's good for the community that saving these projects. Now, also Locked Away EP, like there's a lot of EPs. Polymono, um Acid Sounds or Sounds on Acid. I feel like it's called Sounds on Acid, but the cover is Radio Arcade. Like there's just a lot of albums that, you know, he released, unreleased, released, partially lost. So yeah. Getting to the end of this video though, the only thing I have to really talk about, disclaimer is that I don't own any of these songs. These are all on YouTube, TikTok, wherever your social media platforms are. I do not own these songs. I just use them to, because I like listening to Tyler's top three in my top three all time. So that's why I kind of made this video, to give you guys information, basically, like a informative deep dive on it, and also because I'm having fun making this video. Um, what else can I say? I really don't mention controversies on my channel, but earlier this year, Tyler was involved in some controversy. Not him himself, but his fans. Basically, people trying to say that, like, he's not cool or whatever because of what he said in the past, and my, my thoughts on it is that, um my thoughts on it is that this he literally said before that his music is art. So if your music's art and you're talking from perspective, people like to bring up like Fish. That song's really dark. Rotten Sarah, that's a dog. I didn't even talk about Zombie Circus. Zombie Circus is probably Tyler's darkest project, even though I just covered Dinosaur, and that's like it's up for debate too. But these songs are all meant to be art. So I don't understand why people tend to take art and misconstrue it. I mean, bro, he was a teenager making all these songs. So the stuff you said was kind of like valid enough. Like I don't really understand why people get so upset and uptight over that there's many issues in the world, and I don't think that's one of them. But yeah. Anyways, that is basically the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Any support I love. Like any way you guys can support the channel, like leave a comment, subscribe. I'm trying to do this for a full career, but it's also fun to me. Like I genuinely love making these videos and I genuinely love crafting, art because I think art can tell a lot of stories and I think art could be a good way to connect to people emotionally and spiritually and physically. So I'm just trying to do my part and I'm trying to, create a better world for this generation, the younger generations, and even the older generations. So if you guys like any of how any of that sounds, I will be making videos more like this, combining it with my commentary style. But anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video. And I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.